Hi, I'm Jimena Gonzalez, and I'm from Madrid, Spain. Although I don't live there anymore because the sensory overload was too much. I was always top performer. I got really good grades in school, and at the same time, I was studying piano at the music conservatory and spending a lot of time at the hospital because my sister was sick. I was never really a kid. I acted always like a mini adult, very responsible, very smart, very sensitive. And that sensitivity made me a bit anxious, I guess, because I was always attuned to other people's expectations and trying to fulfill them. That's probably why I studied engineering, because I was too intelligent to study other things that were interesting for me. Although I had many existential crises during my studies, I pushed through and I ended up in corporate world. As the years went by, my anxiety got worse and worse. I remember going to the office bathroom and crying on the floor almost daily. And I tried everything. I worked through my trauma in therapy. I did yoga, daily journaling, meditation, many other spiritual practices, but it didn't go away. I tried to keep pushing through, as I had always done, but at one point my body said no. My digestive issues got out of control, and I had many other physical symptoms that the doctors didn't understand. I didn't understand. But no one saw that. Everyone thought that everything came easy to me. So no one understood when I left my job without another option. But I knew that I just couldn't do it anymore, even though I loved the job. But I guess it was like the sensory overload, the constant meetings, having no time alone, the politics, the hierarchy, the rules that I didn't understand or want or went by. Um, so I left. Yeah, I guess I thought that would do the trick, but it didn't. I started having shutdowns and meltdowns daily, and I didn't understand what was going on, so that made me even more anxious. Then I learned that I'm gifted and I'm autistic, and that years of masking have left me in this state of burnout. And I feel like I am back at the beginning, as if everyone else around me has had been going up in their careers, in their family life, in their emotional regulation. And for the last 5 years or so, I have been going backwards. I have been losing my health, my financial security, my career, my emotional regulation capacity. And that is hard, but also now I feel like I'm more myself than ever. So, in a sense, I feel like there's no other way for me, like, this is the way for sure. The word masking feels a little bit inaccurate for me because it feels like there's the mask and then there's you, your true self. So if you realize you're masking, you can just take the mask off. But for me, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like the mask has fused with my real self, and I cannot always differentiate between the two. But one thing that has been helping a lot is spending time alone and experimenting what my natural behaviors are when I'm on my own. Because when I'm with other people, I tend to tune into their emotions and their expectations and forget or lose connection to what I'm feeling. So, spending time alone and doing those regular check ins, asking myself, how am I feeling? Am I tired? What are my bodily sensations? Is my stomach tense? How am I sensory wise? Am I comfortable? Has been like a training, and I have been able to incorporate that into other settings after doing it alone for a long time. For example, in bathroom breaks, in social situations, or even when I'm with other people. But before, I used to just realize when I had been masking by the consequences. So, for example, feeling very drained after socializing or some work thing, or having shutdowns or meltdowns. Now, those things still happen, but many times with this check-in, I am able to identify what's going on and what I need and accommodate myself or be a little bit more unmasked so it's not so exhausting before I reach that point. I think when I'm unmasked, I can express my raw emotions, even autistic joy. I can express them freely, and I feel like I'm not worrying inside about if I'm gonna be misperceived or misinterpreted, or how is my body posture, how is my eye contact, how is my tone of voice, am I sounding nice enough, things like that. It feels like I'm free to move, like like my body moves more freely. It's more like in a flow state, kind of, and I am not stuck rigidly in myself, if that makes sense. What I'd like to tell my younger me is that it's okay to receive. I feel like I have been trying to cause as less trouble as possible, and I felt this weight of being so smart. You must give because you don't need any help, and so you should just provide to other people that need more than you with your gifts. And no, I need help as well. I struggle with many things. I also need love and care and attention and support. And it's okay. It's valid. It's human. It's beautiful. And it's natural. It's the way it should be. So, yeah, I would like my younger me to know that. I wish they knew that your reality and how you're feeling and how you're experiencing life is not necessarily visible, and that you cannot know how the other person is just by looking at them or imagining how their life is. And that happened to me because I am smart, I have pretty privilege, and so everybody thought that I was worry free. And it was very far from the truth. I was struggling with anxiety, with many family issues. I was feeling very lonely, although I was socially successful. I struggled with many things at work, even if my job was being recognized and had no fails. So, yeah, basically, that you cannot know how's life for the other person, and so how the other person's feeling, and so don't invalidate.